Well, I'm 408 pounds. I'm down 152 pounds from the original 560 I started at last spring. That's obviously massive. Just realizing it, like, good God, 150 pounds is a lot. I can't imagine walking around with a whole nother person on my back, but I guess that's what I was doing before. But if you've been paying attention, you've probably already realized that I did not hit my under 400-pound goal this month. So weighing in at 408 means I only lost 4 pounds, which is pretty disappointing, not gonna lie. Losing a pound a week is pretty healthy, but when you're over 400 pounds, you really just want to be losing more than that because I have so far to go, you know? And this month has been pretty far from being healthy. It's been a real mixed bag, if I'm going to be honest. If you watched my last video, I talked about having a episode of depression. It was a very brief return to the way that I used to live. I ordered a bunch of food, did nothing but sat around, and did, absolutely nothing. I did that for like 3 days straight. After that, the scale read something like 428, and I really just wanted to smash my head against the wall for doing something so stupid. Like, that was a pretty huge setback, both weight-wise and just for my mental health. And I won't lie, that's definitely part of the reason I didn't make many videos this month. Just embarrassed more than anything. I mean, really, I've been embarrassed about myself pretty much my whole life, to be honest. It just hits harder when you're actively putting it out there, you know? But yeah, so anyways, the scale went back up to like 430 and came down pretty quickly, back down to like 418, 420. And it was a little turbulent from there, but I worked my way all the way back down to 408. So that's a win, I guess. And I've actually been really good with everything for like the last 2.5 weeks or so. So that's really encouraging. It just sucks knowing how much further along I'd be without the little speed bump, but we keep it pushing. There's actually a lot of new stuff I've got going for me, so that's great. Let's get into some of that. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of these InBody scan machines. There's one at a local fitness store. They sell like protein powder and stuff. Anyways, it's like a super advanced scale. It uses electrodes to measure your body fat percentage as well as actually weigh you like a scale. So it can give you some super accurate measurements. It spits out this report that covers a bunch of stuff. I was primarily interested in getting a reading for my BMR to give me some perspective on my dieting, but a lot of this other stuff is interesting too. Seeing the total amount of body fat is cool, so I still need to lose slightly less than that amount, I guess. I was happy to see that I didn't literally top out the chart for BMI at least, even though I did on these two. Still pretty cool. I think these things are all over the place, and at least the store I went to lets you do it for free, so highly recommended. So in a similar vein, I got a new scale for home. Historically, I've used this one on the left. Just to be completely honest, your options are pretty limited when you need the weight limit to be 500 pounds. So that was one of the only ones I could find. But this one over here on the right is new. It's from GE. Just like the InBody thing, it has those electrodes in it that will presumably take a scan of your body and show you your other stats and stuff. Honestly, it looks pretty good. I wasn't sure at first, but the results are actually pretty close to the InBody scan that I did. The only thing that was super far off was the basal metabolic rate, but it turns out that for some reason, the metabolic rate that the InBody scan gives you is actually 1.2 times your BMR. I guess this is supposed to be closer to your actual energy burn, as BMR doesn't account for like anything other than just existing. But the really nice thing is it auto updates my weight on a graph, as well as in Apple Health and in the Lose It app. It makes it a lot easier to track stuff, so this is also highly recommended. A highlight of the month has definitely been the gym. I've been doing really good with going consistently, and I'm already starting to see some gains. Probably just because I'm getting used to actually doing it and not actually building any muscle, but hey, I'll take whatever I can get. I think I mentioned before that my roommate was helping me plan all this stuff out. Up until now, we've really just been working both arms and legs and only once a week for each group, which isn't ideal. He's come up with this new plan here, which is much more involved. We're gonna try it out next week, so we'll see how that goes. I have no idea how to do most of this stuff, so learning it's probably going to take a while. I've been doing okay with doing cardio consistently. I started doing the 30-30-30 fitness thing, and I kept it up for like a week and a half. I'm not gonna lie, it was definitely harder to find an extra 30 minutes in the morning than I expected, especially since work has been ramping up significantly for me recently, so I want to get back into it, but I just had too much going on and I had to prioritize everything somehow, so it got cut. But speaking of walking, I finally went to a running store and got some new shoes. I've been walking in these Allbirds tree runners this whole time. They're super comfy for wearing around, but they seem pretty terrible for actually heavy use, which me walking a lot definitely counts as heavy use. For context, on top of just being really heavy, I also have pretty weird feet. I was born with a club foot. That's what this giant scar on the side of my foot is. They had to go in there and reconstruct a bunch of stuff and move ligaments around. So this foot's really inflexible and kind of sits weird. Anyways, I also over-supinate quite a bit, so they tried to get me in some shoes that help correct that. These are the Brooks Max 2. They feel really good at first, but I've noticed after I go a few miles, my shins start to really hurt. I feel like it's my legs like fighting against the shoes correcting how my feet land, but supposedly this is better for me. I assume it'll get better with time too as I break the shoes in and lose some more weight, but it kind of sucks for now, to be honest. The cushion is definitely nice though. I mean, you can just see such a huge difference just looking at them side by side, right? I really wanted to get this done before the 5K that's coming up in a few weeks, and I'm not sure what possessed me to sign up for a 5K in August. I might actually die. I'm gonna try and beat my time from the first one I did, but I think the heat might keep me from doing so, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. I've also changed up my diet a bit. I made a video a little while back about good satiating foods to eat, and all of that still holds true, but I've been eating chicken and a baked potato almost every day for like 3 to 4 months now, and I'm finally getting too tired of it to keep going, at least every day. I'm still doing overnight oats and boiled eggs for breakfast, and lunch is usually just a Greek yogurt or some cottage cheese or something, and maybe some more eggs. Quick sidebar though. I feel like I really need to balance my food a little better throughout the day, because I feel like I'm more likely to overeat at night if I only have like 200 to 400 calories in the day before dinner. I feel like that should probably be closer to like 700 or 800, to be honest. Anyways, I got a rice cooker and I've been making a brown rice and quinoa mix. I've been eating equal parts that and a random crock-pot chicken recipe. I've done salsa chicken a couple times. It's just salsa, taco seasoning, black beans, corn, chicken thighs, and sriracha. It's super easy, super good, and super low calories. And it's also pretty cheap, so I can't complain. It's also obviously really high protein, which I'm trying to load up on because I've started lifting, and the beans give you some fiber too. The quinoa also has fiber. I don't think these two things are a good enough substitute for the fiber that I was getting from the potatoes, but I gotta mix it up somehow. So yeah, like I said, this month was definitely a mixed bag overall, but I ended up on the uptick, so I'm really excited to get into month 4 and finally get under 400 pounds. I know it sounds like a stupid goal, as 400 pounds is still a ton, but I honestly couldn't tell you the last time I was under 400 pounds. Sometime in high school, I imagine. I don't know. It's gonna be a big moment for me. Anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. I always have fun doing this. Peace out.